one for NCDs and injuries, and one dedicated for mental health. We are here today to present the Africa CDC strategic priorities for the prevention, control of non-communicable diseases, injuries, and mental health for validation. And secondly, to discuss next steps in implementation of the strategy. This is an important task, and even so during the time of COVID-19 pandemic. I really call on all of you to engage actively, because I know the expertise that is in this room is remarkable. And if we put all hands on deck, I have no doubt that, including with the private sector, we are going to achieve remarkable progress. Let me then acknowledge the commissioners that are on here. And we have, I believe, Mohammed guide me here. We have the Commissioner of Health and Humanitarian Affairs. She will join later. Okay, our Commissioner of Agriculture is there, but I would like to particularly recognize the presence of Professor Mohamed Hassani, who is the Minister's Assistant for Public Health from Egypt. Minister, thank you for coming. And without much ado, let me introduce the next speaker. That I don't have the agenda in front of me. If you can just read what who is next from your laptop there. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Rural Development, Commissioner Sako, please. Commissioner Sako, if you're on, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, direction to that. So maybe we can go to the next one.
Sorry? Okay. Okay. I will now call on Dr. Ahmed, who is the Deputy Director of Africa CDC, to come and guide us through the objective and the expected outcomes of this meeting. Dr. Ahmed.
No, thank you very much, John, and good morning, colleagues. Welcome again to Addis Ababa. This is unprecedented, really, to get the whole NCD's mental health areas of work together in one place to be able to discuss what we are looking forward to be a very important and key policy document going forward for the continent. And I say this because I've been in NCDs for a long time. And I say this because there have been many attempts at getting the continent to speak with one voice where NCDs are concerned, and not just in high-level conversations and high-level fora, but also for the technical colleagues to come together, the experts to come together and produce a roadmap that is going to guide us going into the future. I would like to share with you these workshop objectives for the next few days. We are looking forward to do a few things. First is really to update our member states and our stakeholders on what we have been going through in as far as developing this strategy is concerned. The steps, the processes, even the difficulties and the challenges that we faced, we would like to share that with you. This is one very key objective. Second is to share the priorities and indeed search for inputs, the final inputs into the validation process before we can go into saying that the document is now complete and ready for implementation. So we would like to share those priorities. We would like you to provide any final thoughts that you may be able to have so that we can complete this strategy document in an efficient way. Thirdly is we want this session to be a platform where yourselves as member states, as partners, indeed colleagues from the Commission and Africa CDC, to provide inputs into the implementation plan. Because however good your strategy is, if it does not have attached to it a very clear document that guides the milestones and the deliverables, then we cannot be able to succeed in an efficient way. So we would like for us to make inputs into that implementation plan for the strategy, both for non-communicable diseases and injuries and the one for mental health. Then we would like then to see what are the next steps for each and every one of us, whether we are coming from member states, whether we are coming from partners, or we are coming from the Africa Union institutions. What are the next steps that we need to take to be able to efficiently implement this strategy and make a true difference to NCDs, injuries, and mental health on this continent? We are convinced that it is the opportune time for us to be able to use the platforms that we've been testing in health emergencies to bring NCDs into that same area of work so that we can be able to achieve success as quickly as possible. There are outcomes that we expect out of this process, and the two main ones. The first is that the strategic plan is going to be validated. And the strategic plan is a very comprehensive document. As you know, we've been through this for the last, I think, 8 to 10 months, working through the details of the strategic plan. It is costed, the priorities have been proposed. So we want to see that this set of documents are validated by yourselves as our member states. Second is we want to have very clear next steps. After we validate the document, what are we going to do going forward so that we can be able to implement the priorities within the timelines that we will have set for ourselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the areas that are going to keep us busy over the next 4 days or so, and we are really looking forward to finally validating the strategic plan, getting through an implementation plan and agreeing what each one of us needs to do to make it successful and to make it happen in good time. I thank you.
So, good. We will now project our program of work so that we can adopt it and move forward. So let me just do one more check if any of the commissioners have effectively joined. Good. So I'm assuming that you all have this closer to you. We can adopt the program of work. So without any objection, assuming that we adopt this program of work. Any objection to this? So I'll consider the program of work adopted. So thank you. Off. So let me also acknowledge the presence of the Minister of Health of Gambia. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for honoring this very important meeting, and we'll have time to hear from you. So I think without much ado, this first part of this, once the commissioners come in at any time, we'll give them the time to address all of us. But for now, this first part of this meeting has come to an end. We'll now invite you to go to the Mandela Hall, in front of the Mandela Hall, and we'll take a picture so that in future, when you dispute that you were part of the Addis Ababa's movement, we can pull out that picture to show the evidence that you were there. So let's go out and take the picture in front of the historic Mandela Hall. So. Everything good. No, thank you. Thanks for coming. Yes, sir.